Hey everyone, so yes, I'm in a ski resort right now, but no, today's video isn't about skiing. It's about China-Japan relations because things took a sharp turn this week. Well, a few days ago, I was literally planning a ski trip to Hokkaido. Then one morning on this trip, while getting ready to head out, I checked my phone, and all three major Chinese airlines were suddenly offering free refunds for all Japan flights. I just stared at the snow outside and thought, okay, something's happening, and it's not small. Well, if you haven't followed Japan's new prime minister, probably still seen her face everywhere these past few days. I watched her parliamentary speeches, and honestly, she wasn't making policy. She was making bets, big, all-in bets. She's been in office barely 3 weeks and already speeding into the Taiwan Strait issue. Taiwan contingency is a Japan contingency or existential crisis for Japan, and even hinting at breaking Japan's nuclear taboo. It sounds theatrical, except this isn't theater. Every line is stepping right on China's red line. And China responded fast and very clearly. Multiple statements from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a vice minister summoning Japan's ambassador. You don't need to read between the lines, the anger is right there. Then Takachi tried to explain, which somehow made it even worse. She basically said, "Oh, it's just hypothetical, but I won't retract anything." It's like saying, "Well, I didn't need you, just someone like you." Soft words, same stance. Everyone assumed Washington would back her because she's so pro-US, right? But then Trump sat down for an interview, and when the host tried to get him to criticize China, he just didn't. He talked about having a good relationship with China, and some US allies weren't actually friends and were taking advantage of the US. No naming Japan, but the message landed. Not a single word supporting Takachi, not even a polite gesture. It was like, "You want backup? Sorry, I don't know you." And inside Japan, the pushback was even harsher. Japan's foreign ministry immediately distanced itself, saying that's just the prime minister's personal view. I mean, think about that. The prime minister said something, her own ministry immediately denies it. That's top-tier political drama in any country. She's clearly not as solid in the system as people assumed. So why is she doing this? Calling her crazy is probably underselling it. Most analysts think she's betting on America, trying to turn the Taiwan Strait issue into a shared crisis that forces US intervention and pushes America to stand shoulder to shoulder with Japan against China. But the US knows exactly it wants presence in Asia, not war in Asia, and that if there's ever a real conflict, Japan takes the biggest hit. Japan is the one pushing hardest. So Trump's distancing wasn't random, it was precise. And China, meanwhile, has been methodical, not emotional, not reactive, deliberate. Diplomatic messaging clear and direct, military signaling subtle but firm. And the timing of that Air Force video, wow, nothing said, everything delivered. So where does that leave China-Japan relations? My feeling right now is like a rubber band suddenly pulled very, very tight. But tight doesn't mean it snaps tomorrow. But if someone keeps tugging, the break won't be fixable with an apology. The structural tension has always been there. The only question is whether someone decides to use it as leverage. And Takashi chose to push it. Too early, too fast, too hard. And that's why I feel like she's in a corner now. Push harder, she gets isolated at home, and the US won't save her. But back down, her right-wing supporters calls her a traitor. It's a tiger-back situation. Forced toughness that can't last. And for me, the most interesting part isn't just what she said, but why she dared, why she felt she could say it, and why the world reacted this sharply, this fast. This isn't a shouting match, it's a press test for the Asia-Pacific order. And in this test, Takachi seems to think she's a player, but the world is reminding her she's a piece. And pieces can be moved, adjusted, or replaced. If you want me to dig into Japan's internal power plays or Trump's very calculated distance, drop your thoughts in the comments, we can talk about it.